This one, and...
Did you hit record on the other one?
Yep.
Yeah, backup is running. This is the time, this is the place, and this is FC3 Monkey Business, your one-stop shop for everything geeky. And since anything can be geeky, if you love it enough, you never know what you're going to get. This is your host, I am C, and this week we're doing something a little different. We're discussing tarot with a longtime local reader, Jen Beaven. After that, stick around for our upcoming events and our question of the week.
Wow.
Chris.
What?
It's Bevan.
Bevan?
Yeah.
Well, when I see EA,
Yeah, I know. You don't think heaven.
I
you
beaver,
think,
Beaven, you know.
She's a little piece of heaven.
Oh, see, I love
Bevan.
that. That's great. That's cool.
That's
And thank you for joining us, by the way. In the studio today, we got a fairly packed house. Producer Sherry's here. Assistant producer Chris is also here, sort of.
Hello.
How you doing, buddy? You hanging in there?
Getting there.
Both hands?
Getting there.
All the usual suspects, Billy and Tanya, are here.
Yep.
The monk is pacing around in the background.
She's waiting to dance.
She's looking for some music so she can shuffle too. And
eating.
our long lost box office goddess, she's here with us today. Everybody say it with me now.
She does exist.
Everybody say it with me now. Hello, Sybil.
Sybil. Hi.
Hi, baby.
Hi.
We're so happy that you're in town. This is a wonderful thing.
Now, the next time you won't be in town is until June, right?
It will be for the show.
Yeah, so we'll see you in a couple of weeks for the really big show. So, how's everybody doing so far? We had a good week this week.
It's 26 days to the show.
26 days to the show.
But when this drops, it won't be 26 days.
No,
it'll be less than that.
It'll
It'll
probably
be a lot less.
Oh, God.
Is this one coming up this week or next week?
No, this comes up next week.
In 2 weeks. So it'll be
The
like
23rd.
it'll be almost 14 days to the show when you're listening to this. 2 weeks.
Yes.
That's
when panic
amazing.
mode really sets in
No,
for me.
no.
For me.
Well, here's the thing.
Not for you, but for me.
This is going to be our third show. We know what we're up against. You know, we know what we're doing for the most part. And I'm really not going to hit panic mode until about 2 minutes after the gate actually opens and people start filtering in. And
You lie.
that's when I jump
Yeah.
in. Because now I have to find the first people that are going to be in the panel rooms. Anything special happened? Lilac Festival started this week. That was kind of cool.
Dan's actually at
Dan's
the
at Lilac Festival
today.
right now.
Yes.
Hopefully he's enjoying a beautiful day.
It is very nice outside.
It was my baby girl's prom last night.
I know, I saw that.
Holy Moses. My baby girl, who I felt I was
are
just
you
changing her
handling
diapers. I thought I was just changing her diapers a couple of weeks ago, and now here she is in a prom dress.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute,
Oh,
the time.
she's going to love hearing you say that.
No, it's just time flies. Time flies. It's like 16 years went just like that. It's kind of crazy. How it just.
I want you to look at mine, who, when this drops, she will have had her first roller derby match.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Monk,
So are you a
we love
blocker?
you.
Oh, okay.
Yay.
Yes, she
I
is.
remembered one of those
She's blocking
terms.
my access to the fruit right now is what she's doing.
Unfortunately,
good at that.
unfortunately, all of my explanations about what roller derby is and how it's played
Got lost. Yes.
That's
but
all right.
I
That's
actually listened.
that's technical
I was
thing.
listening before it got lost.
So
That's all right.
sometime we'll have to do it again.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'll have to do the explanation.
It's that
the
lost
thing.
episode.
It's the lost
Billy, how you holding up over there?
I'm good.
Good to see you, man.
Thank you. You too.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. You and Sue going to go to Lilac Festival at all?
Actually, not today. We're going to my sister's house. I have a nephew visiting from his home in Tennessee. I haven't seen him in about 20 or 25 years.
Wow.
He's visiting his old hometown of Rochester, New York, and we're all getting together.
Well, I hope you have a great reunion. That sounds
It'll be fun,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So
All right.
that's what I'm doing.
We're having tacos later.
And we're having tacos later. So that's I mean, we saved the most important thing for last,
This is
apparently.
what we're having to eat later.
Great.
I'm hungry. Sorry.
Sybil.
Chris.
What's new and exciting, honey?
Ooh, what's new and exciting?
Yeah. How's Pittsburgh?
And Pittsburgh is good.
Yeah.
It's been a lot warmer down there than up here.
I can imagine.
I packed all dresses when I came up here, and I was like, dang it, it's
Might
like 50. This is
You
not
needed
cool.
sweatshirts.
Well, we're jumping into the 70s for the next few days. So are you heading home today?
I'm heading home today.
Right after recording?
No, I'll probably have dinner, and then I'll go.
Okay. Say hi to Mike.
I will.
Tell Mike. Mike is Sybil's new beau. All right. I met him yesterday, and a nice guy. So he has my seal of approval.
He didn't
Yeah.
want to meet the rest of us?
He
Well-
had to do. He was doing some of this Mother's Day.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's
Oh,
doing the Mother's Day
Mother's
thing.
Day
So happy
thing.
Mother's Day to all the moms out there, Sherry and Tanya. Jen, are you mom? Nope. Cats.
Well, you're
That's
a
a mom.
You're a cat mom.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, Jen.
Yes, I just did a cartoon about it, actually.
Nice.
Yes,
All
we're
right.
going to talk about that.
So
We're going to talk about that.
let's get into some business, and then we'll jump to our first break, and then get cracking on Act 2, which I'm very excited about. I've been looking forward to this one for a while now. So first things first, sponsor shout-outs. Knox Craft Cocktails and Comfort Food, located at the Village Gate. Tanya's wearing the shirt today. These guys have been awesome for us for a long time now. Selena's Mexican Restaurant, also in the Village Gate. The Great Escape Room, the Sherlock Holmes-themed escape adventure experience. Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey, bringing us Caitlin Blackwood, the young Amelia Palm. Pop Rock Comics from our own homegrown Jason Hilton, his gang over there on East Avenue. Their Caffeine and Culture. And one's actually, I've forgotten about one that's not on the list. Arch Telecom, the Sprint providers who have generously sponsored us and helped us out a little bit. Nice. And Redfin Realty, who's one of our more recent sponsors. So those are shout outs there. On to Patreon, and we ask this every week. What is Patreon? Patreon is a membership platform that makes it easy for you to support Monkey Business and the Flower City Comic-Con. Please check us out at www.patreon.com/FC3ROC. All membership levels will include access to the Patreon-only blog, plus tons of great perks at all levels, including early podcast, Twitch, and Flower City Comic-Con information. In addition, when we reach different levels, we will be posting information about what our cast, crew, and people of interest information about. I can read. I really can.
There was
I'm a reader. I was an English major in college.
Spoiler this time for our last guest
No,
announcement.
there
It came out
wasn't.
so fast.
Yeah, it was so
that
quick. We didn't even have
I'm
time.
sorry to all our Patreons that you guys didn't get the sneak peek
That's
of
okay.
Jerome
I'm going
St.
to-
John Blake.
Yes, I'm going to post. I have 2 videos that I've been holding on to that I'm going to be posting. There's going to be our 2 Chris's are going to be featured on Patreon. I have never posted the one of you and Ian singing.
Oh, geez. So
one's
from
going
the
up.
cosplay
I'm glad
karaoke
that
night?
there's no video of you and me singing.
Oh, I wish there was. That was so awesome.
Yeah,
We'll have to do it
I
again
have to
No
have
sometime.
video
more.
that you know of.
That you know of, yes.
I still have not asked Deb.
It's probably a good thing that there wasn't a video that we know of.
And I have 2 separate videos of my Chris playing the theremin. I'm just trying to decide, do I do the one?
What's a theremin?
It's that mystical thing where it's like all the electromagnet,
You just run your hand up in the air over it.
and it makes
it's
very
very
ghostly noises. It's very
but
cool.
I have 2 separate videos. I have one where my youngest niece is sitting in my lap, talking to him, asking what he's doing, and just so you know, she calls him Uncle Cuckoo.
Uncle Cuckoo?
Yes.
I can see it.
So she's going, Cuckoo doing? What Cuckoo doing? Or I do the one where she's off to the side and I get actually a better view of him. But we do get to hear her mom asking her if she needs a diaper change.
Oh.
I was about to ask how old.
I
I was going to ask if the niece was like 16, 17. No, no. And then you throw out the diaper change one, and I'm like, okay, no. 2.5. 2.5.
Jen's daughter.
Ah,
Jen's little
Shay,
one.
little,
Yes.
little bug,
Little Shay.
little
Yeah.
blonde thing.
But so I will be posting both of those videos this week. So keep an eye on Patreon.
Very cool.
Surprise, surprise.
I got a couple of first officers blogs that I have to post yet too. So, well, there's definitely going to be something to do on the Patreon blogs. Apple Podcasts. Want to help others find the show? Yes, we want you to help us have others find the show. Please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Bless you. Okay. This is the single easiest way to support the show and encourage others to listen. Every review will be thanked on the air and any questions will be answered. We want this to be a conversation, so please send us your questions. We do have one here that apparently was a last-minute addition, and it's, I, too, am biased, but these guys are so much fun to listen to, and that came from our buddy J Irish 780.
Thanks, James.
Thanks, James. Always good to be able to entertain the regulars. In addition to Apple Podcasts, you can now find us on Google Play Music and Stitcher. Google Play Music and Stitcher. Is there a place you find your podcast, but you can't find FC3 Monkey Business? Let us know, and then we will see about rectifying that.
And
as
actually,
quickly
let
as
me
possible.
mention, as long as they're my employer, the iHeartRadio app.
There you go.
I need to
can,
add that. Yes, you can find us on iHeartRadio. You can find us on YouTube.
Spreaker
is our main host.
Yep.
You can find links to our podcast through our Facebook site.
page, our website.
Sometimes.
And
It depends on.
We've been having problems with that.
we threw Dan for a loop this week.
And if I really like you, just go ahead and email me, and I'll send you the rough recordings. Just because I want you to listen to us and support us. Just go ahead and, hey, Chris, I want to hear the most recent podcast. All right, I'm here. I'm going to send you the email. I'm going to email you the file. So that's a thing. All right, so we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about one of the oldest mediums. One of the oldest.
Wow, this podcast took a definite left turn there.
Whoa!
In my defense, that's not the word I was looking for.
Never
We were all
mind.
standing around our booths at the Renaissance Fair, posing while the drunk patrons came in. The
Come right in on the mic.
comparison has been made.
Yeah, there you go. But one of the oldest mediums is what I was going to say, because I always like to find a happy medium. But anyway,
Better than a happy ending.
Billy, please go to break.
Okay.
Billy, please.
Swimming.
Let's hear from comedian Jessie Campbell talking about her neighbor, the cat psychic.
Nice.
I live in an apartment building, and one of my neighbors, my next door neighbor that lives to the left of me, what he does for a living is he is a cat psychic. I'm totally serious. People bring their cats to him, and he reads their minds. Yeah. And I was talking to him once because I wanted to know more about it, and I asked him, I said, what do the people want to know about their cats? What are the questions that people ask their cats? And he said the two most commonly asked questions are, do they like me? And are they happy? Yeah. Not the first questions I'm asking my cat. Nope. Yeah, question number 1. Where the hell are my hair ties, you son of a
That's awesome.
Just bought a new pack of Goody Ouchless. They're all missing. Those are expensive.
Twist ties.
Question number 2. You think there's treasure in the couch? Are there's treasure? I paid for that, idiot. My couch.
That is so true. It is so true.
Bit of
Or
it.
twist ties. We had a cat that would like the twist ties.
We had one that liked the plastic rings from milk bottles.
Yeah.
Yep.
He played fetch with him.
Played fetch.
The little strings that come off your 3D printer.
Welcome
The
to
little
Cat
strings that
Talk.
come off your 3D printer. That's right.
WFC3 Cat Talk.
The C is
Monkey
for
business.
cats.
Well, Sherry's normally trying to hurt the cats, so.
Yeah, well, then there you have it.
Yeah.
All right. The Empress, the Fool, the Hanged Man, the Chariot, Judgment. From Italian playing cards to their use as a divination tool, tarot has been fascinating people for centuries. Today, we are lucky enough to have professional tarot reader Jen Beaven in studio to tell us about the history of tarot and talk about their use. Jen, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
We're so happy to have you here today. I can tell, like I said earlier, I really was been excited to have this particular one because.
Oh, yeah.
I've
Because
been-
you want to know what your future is.
Well,
yeah.
You
don't
want to
we
know
always?
if you're going to die.
Well, I know that's
yes,
happening.
you're going to die.
Yes, that's a thing. I know
He
that's
just
a
wants to
thing.
make sure it's not in the near future.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid the near future aspect of it. How did you start? How does this become a thing that you really find yourself getting so into?
My grandmother, who I found out later was a witch, but I'm not sure how formal she was of a witch. I just know that apparently she could bring her frozen koi back to life if they got frozen in the fish pond.
Okay.
She picked them up and breathed life into them, and they came back alive. That's pretty weird.
I'll take it.
I didn't
Okay.
know that while she was alive, of course, because she was kind of in the broom closet, I guess. But
Wow.
But
I love it.
She gave me a toy psychic set
Okay.
because that was safe. And
What is in a
it had
toy psychic
It
set?
had a pendulum,
Okay.
and it had what else did it have? I don't know. It had probably some astrology thing and a bunch of other bullshit, and it had a little deck of tarot cards. That wasn't even a complete. I wasn't even playing with a full deck when I started.
Okay.
And you're still not.
So you fit in
I'm
really
playing
well
with
with
a
this.
more than full deck.
Yeah. You fit in really well with the people in this room because we have not had a full deck for a very long time.
Well, you should get one of
Maybe
these then.
from all of us together.
Yeah.
Either that, or you could go out and get one of my brother-in-law's card game decks.
Okay.
You know, the pirate one and the
Scallywag.
scallywags. Why do I
Scallywags.
numbers
No,
league?
Chris, who we had on
Yes, Chris
Oh.
Palace.
months ago,
Yeah.
is her brother-in-law.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
We got our own little
Alice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
we've got our own
Tina's-
little
Tina's
small
my
world
sister.
effect going on
Yes,
here.
yes.
Okay.
His wife Tina is.
Yeah.
is
Oh,
Jen's
and she's a
younger
doll,
sister.
by the
And
way.
which
Unless you
you
didn't get along, and then
probably-
she sucks.
No, we totally get along.
Okay, then she's awesome.
I started bringing her to the Ren Fair when she was 7, so she grew up there.
Okay.
She's a fair baby.
Yeah, she is. And now she's got a fair baby.
Yes.
Yep. I started going to Sterling when I was 15.
With Chris, when Chris came in to be interviewed, he brought, and he is just the cutest little guy.
He is. He's a good kid.
He's 9 now, though. We just had electronics night on Friday.
Oh boy.
He and his buddy Lila and my husband brought over the oscilloscope, and they played with touching the oscilloscope and touching the wall.
Oh wow, cool.
We made light up necklaces out of these little. It was fun.
Nice. So you've been kind of tinkering with tarot cards pretty much your whole life then?
Since I was about 13, yeah.
Okay.
I used to read for the neighbor kids and tell them all kinds of doom and gloom was going to happen to them. They loved it.
Nice.
There you go. Because teenagers eat that stuff up.
Yep, absolutely. And then I started reading for pin money, and then when I was in college, I was doing the occasional fair here and there. And I think I picked up someone who was hitchhiking, and she was going to go to the Renaissance Fair, which I'd never heard of, and be a storyteller.
Oh wow.
So,
okay.
I thought, oh, that'd be cool. Renaissance fairs always need psychics, right? So I went up there, and they had a tarot reader, and he was a psychologist for real, and I think he burned out. That was the first year. So I was the second year for the next 20-something. We had at most, like 10 people reading tarot, a couple of rune readers. It was a fun gig.
Well, that's where I got my introduction to it, was at the Sterling Festival.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how we got introduction to each other. That's where our friendship started, because Karen Becker introduced us.
Yep.
Yeah, she was, she was good.
We missed the Karen. We do miss the Karen.
So, Chris, have you had your cards read?
It's been, I want to say, a good 4 or 5 years since it's happened.
Lie.
What? Oh, yes, that's right. Thank you. It's been a good 4 or 5 months. Sorry.
Did Sherry do them?
Yes. I read his cards about 4 or 5 months ago.
Cool.
That was a very informal kind of like last second kind of thing.
It was like, I need to make a decision. Okay, call me.
Yep. So I needed all the help I could get.
But you've had your palm read? Or
I've had palm. Well, I've done the palm reading only on one occasion, and that was a long time ago. I did palmistry at Sterling.
Yeah.
Because all the tarot card readers were
busy.
But they were all busy, so I decided, I'll go with the palm reader. Then that'll be great.
Do you remember who it was?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
Because we knew all them too.
Yeah. It was a woman, and she was very nice.
It was probably Raya then.
Raya or Renee or Michelle, depending on how long ago it was.
It depends on how long ago.
Oh my God.
I think that because they got rid of all of us. So
yeah.
I often tell Sherry that if I ever won the lottery, the first thing I'd do is buy Sterling and get all you guys come back. The proper ones, like the real deal folks.
The not working for minimum wage
exactly.
ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's me. So I'm going to then assume that over the years,
14 years ago.
Really?
Sorry.
Whoop.
I don't know. An ad popped up. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
On the computer.
We still
so
love you.
Just keep talking.
I can do that. I'm very capable of that.
I'm not sure why that happened.
Really?
So you've put a lot of you've done a lot of research, a lot of reading into tarot, or is it just something you've always kind of done gut instinct on?
I can tell you how to learn to read tarot cards. It's simple, but it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
You just get yourself a deck, preferably get a deck like I like the Rider-Waite, but there's a lot of other ones that have pictures for the suit cards.
Okay.
And then just get to know them.
Okay.
Each card has a personality. Yeah, read the book, but
but you let the card tell you the story.
Yeah, because it really I think the way it works, we're either living in a really nice giant role-playing game called Time Space, and this is some of the cheat codes.
I keep rolling ones.
or this is the way to access your intuition.
Okay.
Without getting all nervous about it, because it's just cards.
Mm-hmm. I actually the most one of the cooler ways that I've heard it described. I was talking with somebody about it at Archimage over on Monroe Avenue. And they said, people are like, it's going to tell you the future. People always get delusioned by the fact that this is supposed to tell you the future. It doesn't.
No.
What it is a way to talk to the universe in a less lofty way of trying to find a less lofty way of saying it. But and so it's a communication. It's a conversation. And so you're not getting told what's going to happen. You're getting told what could. Here's some ideas. Here's some notions. Here's a story that you can think about. Stuff like that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Although, yes, we do get the beware of green umbrellas on Thursday afternoons.
And psychic 2x4s.
Oh, stop that.
Yes.
Oh, God, Karen, she'd kill me with that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Well,
Yeah.
And that was the Morgan Greer.
Morgan Greer, that's a
Yes.
harsh deck.
That was my favorite deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was the telecom guy at RIT. He got interested in reading tarot, so he picked up the one that looks like the Cabbage Patch Kids.
Hanson Roberts.
Hanson Roberts. And he was like
Have that
this.
one, too.
He would have been a goth if there were goths back then. and like this was exactly the wrong deck for him, so I got him one of the Crowley decks, the Thoth
Thoth?
deck. Oh yeah. Oh.
Chris, just so you know, the Hanson Roberts, that's what I used for your reading.
Okay. Is that the Cabbage Patch Kid?
It's the happy deck for happy people with
It
happy
is.
problems.
Okay.
It is.
And it still managed to smack you.
Yes, it did.
Because
There's
if
a
we,
lot of things that
nicely.
smack them.
I feel like Charlie Brown all of a sudden for some reason. It's like somebody's about to pull the football.
you got a
out.
rock.
Yeah, I got a rock. I got a rock. My kite is in the tree.
I don't think you're going to play football.
No, I almost did, and then I got into
Smart.
Yeah, I got smart. That was basically it.
Good thing.
Yeah. I was actually on my way to tryouts my sophomore year of high school, and one of the juniors who just loved being a bully to everybody saw me coming, and he's like, "Oh, good, I get to break somebody in half today." And I turned around and went back to the locker room, got my jeans and T-shirt, went home. I was
Like, okay,
nope.
I'm done.
Cool.
Okay, tarot
So-
now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on. You're
But
surprised?
That's a good example of
Intuition.
using your intuition.
Yes.
Exactly.
See, Sherry,
The
are you
universe was
surprised by
telling
this?
you at that point.
Exactly. All right.
You do
and
not
and
want
then
a concussion.
and so I'm understanding then by the way you're talking about it is that you can read a deck and entirely like if I want to start becoming a reader myself, I have your deck in my hand. I may see it in an entirely different way.
Oh, yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's like anything else. The interpretation is it's between you and you have a different relationship with every person in this room. You're a different person too.
Okay.
And the cards are the same way.
Gotcha.
And then when you have a person that you're reading for, that's a whole nother relationship.
Okay.
That's why when Sherry read for you, I read differently after.
Right. I remember you calling me later that night saying, "Well, I saw this," and I'm like,
Like now I'm really confused.
But no, they were both very helpful. They came at it from almost the same answer from two different angles. So
Well, this is so awesome, though. You all know what tarot is. I
Yeah.
don't have to explain this.
Well, you explain it to our listeners, though.
exactly.
Yeah, it's originally a card game because all good things start with games.
Mm-hmm.
And it still is played in some places. And of course, I went and looked on Wikipedia to catch up a little before I came in.
Mm-hmm.
They're still playing it. They play it with really strange decks. It's usually the deck is kind of like a regular deck, and
Okay.
they probably have the same origin. But a regular deck of cards is only the 4 suits.
Oh,
And
yes.
the suits are a little different. They're like instead of diamonds, you have pentacles. Instead of spades, you have swords. Instead of clubs, you have batons or wands.
So is the game like
And
Go Fish or
Cups
something?
are
Or
like hearts. Yeah, actually, that's one of the
is it?
no.
Okay, no.
It's like bridge, but
Okay.
but
See, that makes
fish
more
is
sense.
something that tarot readers play when they want to freak out the mortals.
Damn.
I remember the comedian
Nice.
Stephen Wright. One of his lines is, "We're playing poker with a tarot deck.
Solitaire.
Four people died."
Yeah.
Or solitaire.
I got a
whatever.
full
Playing-
house and 4 people died.
Yeah, I got it. That's it. That's it. Thank you.
I love
Oh
Steve.
no, the best tarot joke came from Ed Becker actually.
Okay.
Is someone came up before Tina was a reader, she was our appointment person, and this righteous religious lady came up and loomed over Tina and said, "God hates you for reading tarot cards." And Ed Becker pipes up with, "Which one? And if we sacrifice a goat to him, will it make him happy?"
I love hearing that from somebody
Yes,
else.
Yes, and
awesome.
one of the old palmists, Michelle, was told she was going to hell for reading palmistry, for doing palmistry, and she looked at him and go, "Well, I only do this on the weekends, so does that mean I'm only going to hell on Saturday and Sunday?" Yeah.
The closed-minded are so entertaining to the rest of us.
Oh, but the drunk people are way more fun.
Oh yeah, no. I was
Bring it
actually,
on.
I was actually,
Mine.
I was given a deck of my. I have a deck of my own. It was given to me a long time ago by somebody who was very important to me, and And I remember just kind of sorting through it and reading the book and learning about, getting a feel what the cards were like and whatnot. And one of my buddies was, on a Saturday night, it's like, you got to read my card. You got to read my, and his balance, little left of center. So what I did is I shuffled them up, and I was like, okay, you got to think of all these great questions you want to ask yourself. Just keep in mind. And then I never looked down. I just started laying cards out and kept eye contact with him, and I'm like, "Oh, you've got a long road ahead of you, man, and things are good." And he's just kind of, you could see his face just falling, and the rest of the room is dying because they see I have not even looked down at the cards, and most of them were being like, I think they were coming down face down. I'm gonna put them over here, and then I gathered them all up. I'm like, I can't talk to you anymore. And he's like, am I gonna die? Am I gonna die? So I'm like, I don't know. It's up to you to figure that out, man. So
I remember when Renee Neckrutz was reading palmistry. She wasn't just a palmist. She wasn't even primarily a palmist. Mm-hmm. She was a clairvoyant, and she would have to be reminded, you're doing palmistry. It would be nice if you looked at the palm occasionally. Because she'd be like, and this and this. And they're like, no, look at the palm.
Yeah.
We understand you're getting it from somewhere else, but look at the palm.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to look at the cards?
You got to look at the cards.
You got to look at the
cards.
cards.
Got to look at the cards.
And don't yell blackjack.
Yeah, I know. Bingo.
Trump. This is Trump. We're playing euchre.
There you go. Now you've been at Sterling Fair. You're not there currently?
I'm not there currently.
Not there currently.
And actually, none of my sister is there, but she's a vendor now. They're selling fairy doors.
Yes.
Yes. I love fairy doors.
Yes, you have like two of them, don't you?
No, I have one.
Just one. The
it's
TARDIS.
A TARDIS.
Yes.
I have a few.
I'm sure.
Really, just a few?
Well, I'm a patron. I have a
Bags of
obviously
Bags
people in
bite.
Radio Land can't see this, but I have a bag that bites with my
Oh,
cards
that's
in it.
cool.
Yeah, Tina makes
Yes.
it too.
It's a big fluffy bag
Lana has one, too.
with a mouth that has teeth at the opening.
And they will be at FC.
And they will be at FC3, so look for them.
Yes,
I'm
go
afraid
buy
to
a
put
lot
my
of them.
hand in there.
All right.
Monk uses hers as her dice bag.
Cool.
Yeah, that's what they were originally. They were the dice bag of devouring.
Yes.
They originally were
I think I
gamer
need one
thing.
of those. I'm just saying, because my dice collection has gotten astronomical lately. I now have 3 full pouches that I got from Potomac Leather full of dice. So I need a
That's
bigger
a good
bag.
place, too.
Yes, it is. I see something about zombie temps. What?
Oh, yeah.
Zombie? Your complete guide to dead sourcing?
It's a totally different subject that we're jumping over to.
That was one of my, I do it every year when I remember. I do a birthday challenge. I try and do something on my birthday that I've never done before. So that was publishing a book
Okay.
on Kindle.
Alive employees need health care. Alive employees require salaries. Alive employees insist on all those expensive workplace safety measures. Fire the living, hire the dead. It's a no-brainer.
It's called Zombie Temps, Your Complete Guide to Dead Sourcing.
Yes. And I think that's just hilarious. Regulations, lawyers, politicians, unions, taxes, everyone has something to say about how you treat your quote-unquote human resources. You barely get to treat them as resources at all. Dead sourcing could be the solution of the future.
Yes, I'm selling zombies in my spare time.
That is outstanding.
It's called, dead sourcing.
That's outstanding.
We could use
And
a couple
actually,
of those.
Kevin Zerwacki made the illustrations for
Okay.
that. So he drew me some workplace zombies. They're wonderful.
We call them interns, Tanya.
Yes.
We actually do have zombies on staff.
Well, the thing is, all you need to do is get one zombie and just put them at a desk with your other regular
And then soon you'll have
alive
zombies.
employees.
Well,
Plural.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah,
math
don't feed
teacher,
'em.
and we did
You do
a
exponential?
we did the exponential growth
Yes.
about the zombie virus
There you
back
go.
in September and October. So
There you go.
I just referred to it back this week. So yeah,
Cool.
All right, so that was cool. I saw
Okay,
that.
And before we get back to tarot,
Yes.
I want to talk about Pencognito.
What's that?
Oh, it's my cartoon.
Oh, cool.
It has penguins. They have hats on.
Penguins are awesome.
You-
I would like to say penguins are a spirit animal, although I'm around people who might tell me otherwise. No, your spirit animal is actually this. But no, I love
your
penguins.
spirit
Well,
animal's
your
monk.
penguins can be your spirit animal.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love them.
You just have to eat a lot and drop guano when you're mad at somebody.
Okay. I do.
There you go.
And carry eggs on your feet.
And carry eggs on my feet. I can barely carry shoes on my feet
There's
sometimes.
the Church of the Great Penguin.
Oh,
And
that's it.
She shows up in the
Here.
cartoon sometimes.
I'm in.
Yeah, it's
It's a riot.
No
it's
rules.
Such a good comic. I love it.
no rituals, no guilt.
I
I'm
love
looking
it.
at it right now.
Oh,
Was it the
It's
Church
on the
of
screen to
the
your
Church
left.
of the Great Penguin.
Okay.
Oh, you put my cartoon
So tell
up.
us where we can find Pencognito.
Pencognito.com. It's PENGcognito.com.
Okay.
Because if you leave out the G, you get a hockey site. I have no idea why.
It's probably the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, Pens.
Yeah.
Most likely.
I assume.
So we have a lot of penguin experts in the panel today. I love that.
We actually went to Africa. And
Did you?
We went on an Earthwatch program.
So cool.
Yeah, they're great.
It's amazing.
You pay like you would pay for a cruise or something.
Uh-huh.
But you stay with the scientists.
Okay.
Your money goes to help the expedition go along, and you do grunt work for scientists, which in our case, we were counting penguins that after the Treasure oil spill, they rehabilitated a lot of them, and they put little bands on them.
Uh-huh.
And we were going out and going into penguin nests, pissing off the penguins by lifting them up and counting their eggs to see if the ones with the bands were reproducing as well as the ones without. So that's kind of cool.
That's really neat.
We got a lot of pictures of penguins. That's where most of the pictures in my cartoon come from.
I'm putting something like that on my bucket list now.
Okay.
If I could get to go hang out with penguins,
that'd
be amazing.
Yeah, I think that one's still going. But
Is that a Can I do the Kickstarter for that? Do you think?
Yeah.
Maybe a raffle at FC3.
well, no,
To earn money to send me on a penguin
do
safari.
a GoFundMe.
GoFundMe. I'm going to do a GoFundMe so I can go see
And
penguins.
let me know. I will certainly donate to it.
That was cool.
Thank you. It was a great experience. And
Chris wants to go
Earthwatch has
with
a
you.
lot of other things too. It's not just
Not
that.
really.
They have all kinds of. No, this was South Africa, and it was supposed to be horrible weather with the sideways blowing rain and 40 degrees. And it was beautiful and sunny the whole time.
I'll go with you if you go to New Zealand.
Okay.
New Zealand's nice.
I
You
can
got
do
to
that.
find some science to do, though.
New Zealand's on the bucket list also. I used to think I had this great fascination with wanting to see Australia. I've always loved Australia and Australians. I've met many of them over the years.
Do that last, because everything there's going to kill you.
Yes, that was the point. When I was told by a friend of mine who lives in Canberra that
Spiders.
yes, they recently lost a dog to a spider, and the dog was a Springer Spaniel, which is like a 45, 50-pound animal, and they lost it to a spider, singular. I said, I'm never going to Australia. It's just not happening now at this point. So I was like, okay. I said, I'm sorry to hear about the loss of your
spiders. Hardly ever kill you.
Yes, or they can, but you can kill them
really
first.
Have to work at it.
They're really going to have to work at it.
Don't they know that with great power comes great responsibility?
There you go. There you go.
Obviously not.
In stereo.
Damn.
All right, and we tangented there for a little bit because that's what we're best at. We wander around.
And that's part of your history and origin story.
Exactly.
And that is a big thing with Chris. So.
That's it. I love to hear all the things that people are interested in. But you've been what's this? I'm being shown something. When Australia gives a logical counter argument to your opinion and you don't know what to say, the Emu War of 1932. I just have to make a reference to that. Is that what you're saying, Monk? Okay.
They lost a war to a giant bird.
The Australians lost a war to a giant bird in 1932. You know what?
You can lose.
I'm going to have to research that. But this is the first I've ever heard of that. That's so cool. I'm going to have to remember that. All right.
History is full of fun little things.
Now, you've been shuffling your cards diligently for the entire time we've been chatting.
Because it's a new deck.
It's a new deck. Oh,
It's a new old deck.
It's a new old deck.
It's the centennial version of the Rider-Waite, which they are now calling the Smith-Waite with the artist's name first, which should be because she didn't get much recognition for many years.
And I think it's a Rider-Waite deck is one I have.
Probably. It's one of the... I really like it.
It's one of the kind of standard...
It's my favorite. It is the... kind of the standard.
The standard.
When I first started, the one I had, I think, was the Tarot de Marseille in my toy psychic kit. And then I had an Atea for a while, which is this guy, Aliette, was one of the first popularizers of tarot as divination. So he came up with his own version. And that was kind of cool. Everything was in French. I was taking French in school. So
I have seen some tarot decks that the artwork is just incredible.
My favorite for that is the Robin Wood.
I'm gonna have, I don't know what
deck.
Is it?
It's a beautiful deck.
I was thrown off. I was actually at Village Gate Mall yesterday, which
you went over to Mythic Treasures.
Yeah, I went to Mythic Treasures, and they had a 3D.
In there.
They had a 3D deck. Like each card had a hologram
there's a 3D
to
deck
it.
right sitting there in front of you.
Yeah, I mean you got the 3D printed deck, but I'm
It's a
talking
big-
like this.
yes.
They were like hologram images.
Yeah.
So each of them had like you could like flip them, and they would have this depth to it. It was amazing.
Now I know where I'm going after here.
I was going to say I had popped into Mythic Treasures at the beginning of April. I was looking at a lot of the cool stuff in there.
There's a steampunk deck, which is very nice.
It is.
I saw that, and that definitely caught my attention.
One of my favorites is totally out of print. I have not been able to find it anywhere. It was the Sternimation deck. It was this German deck by some pop culture person from Germany that I had never heard of. And it was really nice. It had the Hierophant was a computer person. And this was back in the 70s.
Oh, cool.
Like, we had a really weird preponderance of computer people at the tarot booth.
Yes.
And in fact,
Yeah.
the second guy that Michael Weisberg, he was my first partner there, and then he went off and did games. But he ended up being a mainframe system programmer also when he grew up. And I mean, that is very, very obscure.
So there are different ways to speak to the universe. You can do it through cards, or you can do it through code.
And yeah, it's a language of symbols,
Or
right?
both.
Numbers.
Technomancers. Yeah, now we're talking.
I did not realize how many different decks of tarot cards there are.
yeah.
There's gotta be hundreds.
I'm on tarot.com right now and just looking at the different.
But
No,
aren't
there's-
most modern decks based on the Rider-Waite?
Yeah, a lot of them are.
Yeah.
A lot of them. And I think that's why that is why I always recommend a deck like this, because they're the ones with a drawing a scene for every card.
Okay.
And the ones that are based on the Tarot de Marseille and some of the older decks, they're like playing cards. They just have like the 9 of Swords has 9 swords on it. That's not really going to jog your memory as to what that card's all about.
And there's more exotic decks. Like I know like I had a Thoth deck.
Oh yeah,
It's beautiful.
beautiful, yeah.
It's gorgeous. Never could read that deck. There is no way I could ever possibly read that deck. They did not speak to me at all.
Well, 2 card readings, or like the guy I used to work with at RIT, who was he grokked it immediately.
Yeah,
because
something.
he was
It
like
does. It calls to
super
people.
dramatic.
It
and
calls
like,
to people, but that was not my. It was not my deck.
Hey, Sybil, can you keep it down over there? We're trying to have a conversation. Shh, Sybil.
Yeah, the one thing is the symbolism to remind you of what everything means. And that's what has them. I've seen a lot of decks that don't, and they're just confusing.
Yeah. Well, you can read with a regular deck too. But
Yeah, I was.
Amber
playing,
did that
I
to
was.
us.
I was playing solitaire at
based on Stevie Nicks.
Amber Younglove's.
Oh yeah.
And she started reading my cards, and I'm like, I'm playing a game here. Can you leave me alone?
Oh, she would too.
Yeah, she's just leading. Oh, and this, and I'm like, leave me alone. I'm just playing a game. Get away from
That's
me.
what you think. The universe is still talking to you.
She did it to me too.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, they were really
Oh,
interesting readings. When you, I mean, I was just playing straight game of solitaire, and she's just like, and this and this and this, and I'm like, I don't want this.
Well, then don't pick it. It's your game.
And so she did tell me. She's like, hey, I didn't pick the cards, you did.
All right. So let's put her to work. Let's see what happens here.
I
Now-
had a dream that she did readings for
She did.
us
Yeah.
last night.
You had a dream that it happened.
Yeah, I did.
So that's called premonition at this point because it's about to happen.
Or she could be
Or
remembering
I could
that
just say,
told
no,
you
forget it.
guys.
No, never mind. Never mind.
No, I was when did I say something
What did I
funny?
miss?
Somebody made a reference to Nazis, maybe. I don't know.
Did we break the other Chris?
This is regular. This happens.
Yes. Every so often we catch Chris, and that's it. He's done. So,
Good thing with the slutty chicken, right?
There's a slutty chicken. I totally forgot that.
She listens to the show.
That's awesome.
Listens to
Which
the
episode
show.
was that? I must have not been paying
Poetry
attention.
slam.
Poetry.
yeah.
Oh, I was like,
Oh, because it was just reviewed.
Yes, we just did a best of.
Yeah,
That's
actually,
phenomenal.
That was a good episode.
That was a good episode.
I gotta have to
That
listen
was
to it
Billy's
again.
pick. Billy picked that one.
Yeah.
Which,
Yay, Billy.
and it got booted from YouTube again, by the way.
Did it really?
Because of the song.
Oh, that's
What
right.
song was in it?
The Bob Dylan
The Bob
song.
Dylan song.
Yeah.
Got
Oh,
kicked from YouTube.
That's my fault.
Well, it's okay. You can find it everywhere else, so you don't have to listen to
Bob Dylan's one of the few people that doesn't let his stuff on YouTube. He is hard to find on YouTube.
That's weird.
Whereas,
weird.
I could pull up any song by almost anybody, but Dylan's a little tough.
It's the Nobel Prize.
Or Prince.
Yeah.
Prince was really
Yeah,
hard.
Prince was hard till he died.
Led Zeppelin was never on iTunes for the longest time. I don't know if they are now, but that was
They're
very
starting to be now, yeah.
Yeah.
Chris just had a piece of the banana bread.
Yeah.
He likes my banana bread.
Well, banana bread's good stuff. That's the thing. Now,
Sorry.
Chris had a great idea to see if maybe we can get her to kind of read the company, to the Mighty Monkey Corporation itself, and see.
Is that possible? Can you read for a corporation?
Yeah,
sure.
to see how we're doing with Flower City Comic Con and the podcast and stuff like that. See,
We're doing awesome.
we are. We're working very hard.
Yeah.
But
Yes, it's going to be perfect. And
My thought was to compare that to a reading for an individual.
so it's basically a very large group.
How they're similar, how they're different. I really looked at this.
But then I know
Enjoy it,
Sybil's
so.
definitely got some questions for you after that too. So, because she's been excited to be in the studio for this one. So, and I know I think we all do, even
Sybil's
Billy.
like, you're putting me on the spot?
I'm going to put Sybil on the spot whenever I get the opportunity to. She knows that. She's known me for long enough. So, all right. So, how does this work? Do we ask you some, or do you just kind of roll with it?
Yeah, you want to. I usually like to have the person being read for put something into it, like cut the cards or mess with them somehow so that they end up in an order.
Finding our highest ranking members of the board here, so we'll
pass it back
you want to pass me around? Yeah.
Here we go.
Sure.
So
Say
I'm
hi
going,
to the cards.
Hello.
Be nice to them. Don't
these are
dog ear them.
beautiful.
Don't eat them.
Don't eat them.
He is hungry. So.
No, I had a
You had
couple of
snacks.
donuts. I had snacks before I got started
That's
today. And so now I'm doing a little bit of shuffling here. And then I'm going to hand them off to
So what do you want to know about? Is this a long term? Or are you looking at short term?
short term right now. I think just basically all of the effort that we've been putting in for the past 12 months into the big event in June. You know, we've had our trials and tribulations. We've had our ups and downs.
And you've had your Princess Bride. I loved
We
that.
had
I was so happy you did that.
I hope to do that again sometime. That would be fun.
Nice to see on the big screen.
Exactly. That was the first time I'd ever seen it on the big screen.
20 years down the road, you're going to be putting Black Panther on the big
Yes.
screen, and everyone's going to be going,
Oh my God! What a classic! What are those? You know.
So for Mother's Day, I got a card
Yeah?
from my daughter informing me that she was very sorry I had nothing to open because my present doesn't come out until Tuesday.
Oh,
She's getting me Black Panther.
nice. That was the first MCU movie I've seen twice in the theaters. Because I was so drawn to the dynamic of the story itself. So that was cool. I couldn't wait to see it a second time. Infinity War, I'm going to try and catch it before it takes off from the theaters as well.
I'd like to.
I was trying to see Infinity War again this weekend. That didn't happen.
Yeah, I
I haven't
heard.
seen it yet, so no spoilers.
Oh
please.
my God! It was
So she will not
definitely
be staying for the next session.
right. Okay. Okay.
Oh, because she doesn't want
Well,
all the
actually, I don't really mind spoilers. There's research that shows that if you have spoilers, you still enjoy things, and sometimes you enjoy them more.
Yeah,
You
because
have
now
to
you're.
sit through the credits. That's a spoiler.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I mean, it was really
I
weird
would
when
hope
Batman
so.
showed up.
I get really
Very
mad when they
strange. I
don't
was not
Easter egg
expecting
me.
that at
Beautiful
all.
girl.
They didn't Easter
Love
egg
this hug machine.
Ready Player One, which was about an Easter egg. So what was that? What was that all about? We sat through all the credits and nothing. The lights went on. Sorry, was that a spoiler?
I haven't seen Ready Player One yet, but I'm.
Have you
It's
read the book though?
flashy.
I did read the book.
Okay.
We're listening to it.
All right. Okay.
Has everybody touched the card?
Okay, guys, go
I
ahead.
didn't know if
No, go ahead.
didn't know.
Absolutely. I even want Sybil to have a little a run at shuffling the deck
Oh,
too.
then I would have handed him off.
Because
to
you've been with
Sybil.
us since the beginning. Sybil's been with us. She's like one of the oldest folks on staff.
Are you bringing your crown in?
You have to bring your crown.
It's been hanging out on my teddy bear, looking outside the window, getting all that soaking
Getting
all
all
the
soaking in
energy.
all the
Yeah.
all the
So I
juju.
can bring it in.
Sybil, if you're going to wear your tiara, then Chris needs to wear his.
Which
How many-
Chris?
This one.
Okay.
How many do you have? 2, 3?
Yeah, like 3 of them.
You guys have tiaras.
He does.
Oh, I
don't.
need to get a new one
Who
from
did we
Mel.
buy our tiaras from?
Ooh.
Oh, I forget her
There's
name.
Was it
one
the
at Adafruit
The
that you can make.
the
that lights up.
Enchantress Celtic.
My
person?
cousin is
think
now
so.
making incredible tiaras.
The ones that Sybil and I bought last year were absolutely beautiful. I think mine's got like an aquamarine in it because for March for my birthday, and I don't know what was in yours, but I know we're all like going, "Oh, I want that one. I want that one." So
And Sybil, when you're done shuffling, we're going to hand it off to Billy so we can
Alrighty.
get to all the important folks.
and for our listeners that they can't see,
Always
it is
important.
in front of Chris
You are
and Jen are
extremely
a
important.
3D
Billy.
printed version of
Oh,
the
yeah.
tarot deck, which is absolutely
it's-
phenomenal.
This is not a full deck. It's going to take me a while.
We do not play with a full deck.
I'm just getting the OpenSCAD files.
Those are amazing.
That's so cool.
How do you shuffle that?
You put it in one of those bags that bite.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be
like Rummy Cube.
Like
runes.
And then people will draw them, and it'll be on a light table, and you'll just
That'd
do
be
like
cool.
a little 3-card reading. With
Okay.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
And there we go.
Take me well
Billy
to get
touched
there.
it. Jen?
Okay. Oh,
There we go.
okay. Everybody has shuffled that wants to shuffle.
I believe so. Chris, did you get in on it? Okay.
Did you put any
Monk?
energies in, Monk?
I passed it to Billy.
Okay, so
She
she's
touched it. She
touched
touched
it.
the deck.
Touch it?
I'm good.
Okay, you come up. You cut.
you cut.
Oh God. Okay.
Cut the cheese. I mean the
No.
deck. The deck.
What?
Not while you're behind me, at least.
Okay. Cut it and put it back together, whichever way.
There you go, sweet pea. Nicely done.
And is this your card?
That's a totally wrong thing.
No, that actually works.
It's a badger.
So what?
It's a badger.
A beast deck. Sorry, I always pulled the badger or swan.
All right. It's going to be facing you.
Okay.
Trying to figure out exactly what spread to do.
I think we should build a house of cards like Bobby and Cindy did on the Brady Bunch.
There you
the
go.
winner
All
gets a
right,
rowboat.
This is probably the best spread to do for a business or enterprise,
Okay.
because that's a past, present, future,
Okay.
and then these are what's going on kind of on the inside of things.
I'm seeing lots of cool cards and not so cool cards.
What?
No.
They're all cool.
The thing I've always loved the most is the artwork. I think we talked about that already, but it's just the way that.
And that's an advice
For our
card.
listeners,
Oh, we
I
need
am
lots of
taking-
advice.
I am taking a picture of this, and we will post this on our Facebook.
All right. For those of you who did not hear that because she was not talking into a microphone,
okay.
Monk and Sherry are taking video and pictures, so we will be posting this on our Facebook when the episode actually
So make sure you
airs.
smile, Jen.
Absolutely. Okay, Jen, lay it on us. Let's see what we have.
Does
here.
this mean we have to put our clothes on?
Yes, we do. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So, the Hanged Man is the intuition card.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably need to be paying more attention to it.
To my intuition.
Yes.
Okay.
There's probably signs and signals. It doesn't look like anything bad, but something where you can get more out of what you want from the whole experience
Okay.
by picking up the signals, paying attention, not thinking you have everything laid out and in channels because, well, herding cats.
Herding cat, yeah. Which we're good at. Well, we have experience in trying at least.
Good at being the cat.
Yes.
Okay. Humble beginnings.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
Yeah. And you've learned a lot and probably you're kind of realizing how far you've come, but not quite so much.
Okay.
There's some baggage that you're letting go of, finally.
Mm-hmm.
And that seems like that's a good thing because it's like, okay, we can cherish this thing from the past, but we can also move beyond it and let go of it.
Okay.
So anything that you're seeing that you're saying, gee, if you feel like you're hanging on to anything or you're trying to do something the way you've done it in the past, but your intuition is saying, no, wait, you got to let that go or change it or transform it or let it go.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And there's some challenges to overcome. But
That seems to be an understatement.
Yeah.
well, yeah, but okay. With this card, it's talking about challenges, yes, but you have more of an advantage than you know.
Okay.
So anywhere where you think someone else has the power or something is the way it is, you can get around it.
Okay. And what card is that you're referring to right now?
That's the Seven of Wands.
The 7-1. Okay.
Which is the guy on the hill with a wand, and there's other wands poking up at him.
Okay.
People are coming after him, but he's on the hill.
Oh, I see. So he's got
So-
I've got the high ground,
Have the
Anakin.
high ground.
High
yes.
ground.
Yes.
But it's all kinds of different high grounds. So.
Okay.
I could think of a couple situations that could be referring to. With
Yeah, I think so too. We'll talk a little bit more after.
Yeah, and then you've got the Wheel of Fortune, which is good. Which
Is that what Pat Sajak?
Yes. We're going to get lots of windfall.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, that's usually just fate's kind of turning in your direction, but it's also taking fate in your own hands.
Okay.
But the more that you realize that, yeah, the better off you are. And that I think that goes along with having advantages that you're not necessarily noticing right now.
Okay. We're losing, pardon me for trying to throw a cliche, but we're losing the forest through the trees. Is that kind of a thing that we're at the moment?
Maybe it's, yeah. More like thinking of there being a path and you're on the path and that's all there is.
Oh, okay.
Rather than noticing that there's other
offshoots
paths.
of it.
Others
Okay.
Or sometimes not noticing that there are other people to take some burdens and do some things.
Oh, referring to my inability to delegate? Yeah, I've got that.
Okay, that one's
yeah, I'm bad at that.
And that could
I'm
be
learning.
some of the obstacles and challenges that we're trying to overcome.
Right.
Is taking some of that control and
We've had
trusting.
a lot of wonderful people step up
Yes,
to
we have.
join in, and we have to learn to trust them as they deserve to be.
Which
so that's a thing.
we do. I think we just need to learn to let go just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
I think there's also the Page of Swords. I always call that the manager card.
Uh-huh.
And upside down usually means that either no one wants to be the manager or everyone thinks they want to be, but they don't really.
Well, I know for me, I've always liked being the second in command, but because then it's like most of the power without a lot of the responsibility. But then there are also times where I know that I have this, I can guide it, I can make it happen, but I feel weird about stepping in and taking over and making things happen because I don't want people to go, oh, he's just being an egomaniac. He should just, we should ignore him at the moment because I don't like coming across that way. As strange as that may sound to some people.
Well, you have the idea of that kind of thing as power, as being tied into money, as being something that is a competition. And instead, the Empress, I think, is saying that there's a softer kind of power that everyone wants someone to have. It's a more, I don't want to say parental, but maybe that's it.
Okay. Yeah, I see her hanging out there in the corner there.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like there's a lot of ways that you have learned to have power or have control of something that isn't, I'm going to force you to do this. Or we're going to do this because there's a profit motive and that's the only thing that there is.
Okay.
It's like, no, there's a kind of power or a kind of leadership that is more guidance and bringing people together as a collective rather than telling people what to do. And I think that you have that strength. But,
me or everybody together?
Well, I think you have it mostly, but you also are seeing it's a matter of letting people find their inner magician.
Okay.
And you're good at guiding people to that.
I am?
I think so.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Now, if I can just believe that myself, that'd be awesome.
You don't give yourself enough credit as part of the company in
You don't
regards
think so?
to doing that because you have brought all these people together in order. You have found everybody and have put all these pieces together.
I'm getting embarrassed here for a moment. I'm like, no,
It's
stop.
like putting a gang together to go out and do a quest or something.
Yeah.
But this is a big quest, so.
This is my posse. I'm a posse magnet.
Next, we'll be flashing gang signs.
I think we're losing Chariot.
I know.
What's it going to be?
I went to Supernatural.
Oh.
I'm all about
Yes.
posse.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I saw that interview the other day, so that was in my head. Anyway, I'm just going to stop interrupting at this point. Go ahead.
Okay. That one's a conflict card.
Yeah, we're good at that.
Yeah, but that's kind of an outside thing.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah, so it's an outside source.
Yeah. It being upside down, it's something that presents an obstacle. I think it's if you worry too much about what other people are thinking.
I do have that tendency, and most of the folks who are in the know exactly what I'm thinking about at the moment, too.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, because you're organizing something where it has to be popular. You want people to
Right.
like it and
Yeah.
come in. But you're speaking to a small tribe. You're not speaking to everybody. Even though it's a small tribe, it's still a big small tribe.
Right.
So,
I'd like to speak to a bigger tribe. That would be nice.
yeah. And the tribe that you've got is quarrelsome.
Yes.
So that may be some of it, too.
Okay.
You got to anticipate a lot of people with all of their
different
own weird
personalities.
agendas, and that's cool. That's the way things move. You can't go forward unless you allow the conflict to happen, and then allow people to see how silly it is, and it's a game.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
So anything that comes up that's like that, that's like conflict or flaming or people being asshats, that it's remind them it's a game.
Okay.
Time space is a game.
That's it. Okay. No, I like that analogy, by the way. I've enjoyed when you made the reference to it earlier. So
Well, you can't say it's not.
there you go.
All right, you can tell this is one of my favorite cards. The Sun.
Yeah, it's on your T-shirt.
That's another.
What card is that?
It's the Sun.
The Sun. Okay.
One of the major arcana, which
Yep.
I didn't really get into. There's suit cards, and then there's major arcana, which is a suit of which I'm really trying hard not to say the traditional name for it because it's been spoiled recently.
Okay. What?
But we'll call it the majors.
We call it the major. Well, what is it? What's the
Trumps.
the Trump? Oh, so yeah, the Trump cards. We can.
It is what it
We
is.
can appreciate what it is and
Exactly,
ignore
and
the
that's
exterior
one
influences.
of the reasons that guy picked that name, but
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So we're looking at the Sun card.
Very, very much.
Yeah.
well, yeah. You would think I would have seen that coming, right? How many tarot readers were like woke up the day after going, holy crap.
I had a very, very nagging feeling.
Oh, I did too. But that was more of my instinct as a student of political science than anything else. But
Mine was of stupid people.
yeah.
So what
Yeah.
does the Sun say about
Yeah.
us?
Let's get back to the Sun card.
The
Sorry,
Sun
sorry,
card.
yeah,
It's
because we
the
will go off
game
on a
is
tangent
the
here.
game is throwing stuff at us because we're getting better to be better players.
Yep.
So now we're being forced to be more creative than we actually are.
There
as
you go.
Lily Tomlin would say. Yeah, the sun is kind of a right livelihood card. So, and since it's upside down and it's kind of like an outcome card here. And
Now let me
one of
interrupt
that-
you real quick because I'm looking at the layout. And so you're reading
There-
it as
I'm
if it
reading
was
it as
looking
if
at me.
you're looking
because
at
I'm
it,
like,
yeah.
you're
I've
looking
always
at the
done
cards
that.
and they're all right side up for you.
Yeah, right.
But they're
they're-
upside down for me.
right.
And
I know,
so
it's-
you're reading it as if I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I should be reading them as sideways for you guys.
Yeah, I'm just making sure
Yeah.
that I understoed that. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was reading it that way too.
Gotcha. All right. So
Yeah,
the
that's
sun
kind
is
of
upside down to
shoulder.
me.
Some people
State
do it.
that at the beginning.
Well, and she did say that she was
I've had
placing
readings
it
where
as
people
if
do it
Chris
the
was,
other.
if it was
Okay.
a reading for Chris.
Yeah, but Chris missed that part.
Yeah, but see, I think some of it you're getting from what I'm saying. Some of it you're getting from what you see the cards saying to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's a collaborative.
It's
thing.
between the readers,
Yep.
plural. All right.
Yes. That's the long road card.
Mm-hmm.
The Eight of Wands. It's kind of it's travel, but it can be travel metaphorically,
Mm-hmm.
and it can be you're feeling like you're all collectively on a long road.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's a reminder that it's the journey as well as the destination.
Gotcha.
I like having that. The Sun card is kind of like you're converging on I don't know how to say it other than right livelihood. Doing stuff that makes you happy in the world, or realizing that your real purpose may not be the thing that makes you money,
Okay.
or it may be, but it's not. If you focus on this pentacle guy over here to the detriment of other things, then you don't get this.
I see. It depends on the road you follow, I suppose. Is that a way to look at it, kind of thing? Or?
Well, no, it's that you're on the road, but it's what you pay attention to and what stops you make, and
Okay.
how you appreciate the scenery. And if all you see is a pentacle at the end of the road, you miss the good stuff. Not that I think that I think this is you've got that this is a process,
Yeah.
and that it's still coalescing
Okay.
into something that's going to be bigger, but it's a matter of concentrating more on that feeling of what's right. What do I want to produce in the world? What do I want to give to people? I know that's kind of like that's one of the bullshit things, right? You say, oh, yes, what you do has to be of service. Well, not necessarily of service. I think that was something that's invented by people to make other people want to be slaves.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But it's of generating something.
Gotcha.
Right? We're all makers of one kind or another. Mm-hmm. And it's what you make in the world, not the spreadsheets you fill out, and not even your freaking PowerPoints. It's like making experiences, making stuff that happens.
Let me get my sweatshirt. I just had a chill. That was cool. That resonated. That resonated. No, I was kidding. That resonated though. That was definitely something.
Good. And then we have the Chariot, which is this is a nice auspicious card.
Okay.
It's like you've got the reins, but you all know you have the reins.
Mm-hmm.
You're driving your own bus. You're taking it where you want to go.
Yeah.
That's good. That's even though it's a long road and there's a long road after it.
Mm-hmm.
It's things are going.
Things are going.
See, I would say that it being a long road is a good thing.
Yeah.
This is not a short.
It's
okay,
not
it's going to end. It's
Right.
We're going to keep going.
Yeah, there's a
keep
path
going
to it.
and keep going.
Yeah.
You're on the right path, and it's just going to keep rolling along.
Right. But seeing as that's a reverse card, that may be something. Usually I read reverse cards as being obstacles or potentials rather than a bad thing.
Right.
Right, because I don't think
Just
there are
challenges.
any negative cards. I don't think anything that happens is
Well,
negative.
but most people see when they hear it's going to be a long road, they think of it. Oh, it's going to be forever before you see any results. But
no, it's
within
road
this
trip.
reading, I'm seeing it as road trip. We're all on this road. Let's saddle up.
Get a full tank of gas.
Half pack of cigarettes. It's dark out, and we're wearing sunglasses.
That was me a few minutes ago.
Now I see the Emperor hanging out over
the
there.
advice card, yeah.
Okay.
And he came up right side up, right?
Yeah. So he's right side up to me.
Yeah.
What card did you call it?
The advice card, yeah. I pulled the one off the bottom of the deck because so many times I'd be picking up the deck and I'd look at the one on the bottom and that would seem sometimes even more pertinent than the whole.
I remember when Karen was teaching me, she taught me a bit, and she would always say, that was the one, which one did you put the furthest away from you?
Yeah, I remember her saying that on several occasions. Yeah.
Yeah. So which one are you not wanting to look at? Because it's the one you cut away from.
Right. So we're going to put it right up in front of you right now so that you can deal with it.
Yep.
And so what?
See, I always thought of that as the deck speaking.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, that's a cool. Yeah, I see how that would be a cool way to look at
The deck
it.
itself is also,
Yeah.
as well as me putting them out and you shuffling them and cutting them. It's like the deck then says that I see that as the balance, and we're coming back to power and organization, and getting disparate parts to work together when you don't know what's going to happen. And that is coming back to intuition.
Trust your
It's
gut.
equal parts of knowing your shit and then letting the universe hand you other pieces so that I can't juggle myself, but
Right.
I know jugglers, and that's the kind of somebody throws you a bowling ball and somebody else throws you a torch, and you got to know how to.
Yeah.
So you've got that.
Okay.
You've all collectively got all of the skills that you need. It's a matter of trusting that you all know your place and you all know what you're doing, and then when somebody throws you a flaming torch, you got it.
Right. Or you step aside so that Chris can catch it.
Oh, cool. All right.
Or when somebody throws you the flaming torch, it's knowing enough to step aside so Chris can catch it, and then
eat it.
and then eat
eat
it,
it.
Yeah.
and then eat it.
And put that out.
Actually, what they used to call that a flaming anachronism at the fair.
Oh yeah.
Somebody throw me a flaming anachronism. a good juggler who would do the thing about I'm doing a very hard trick. I'm juggling 3 balls, and then he start dancing up and down and going, now I'm juggling 5.
Oh goody.
He had a great routine because like the kids in the audience would be laughing at half his jokes, and the adults would be laughing at the other half, and the kids would be going, huh?
Who was that?
That was Niccolo.
Nicola.
That was bad.
Yeah, but that was funny nonetheless.
It was funny.
That was
nonetheless.
good. Oh, that's wild. That is so wild.
You seem drained now.
I do a little bit. I always get that way whenever.
That was wonderful.
Whenever you kind of get into a reading, it's just it's cool.
Oh, I'm definitely going to get tickets ahead this time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Very cool. All right, so I'm going to sit back and process that for a moment, and I think that's a great time for a break. Okay, and yeah, I'm good.
Chris is processing.
Yeah. Does anybody want to do just like a ask a question, 2-3 card reading thing?
Yeah.
Kind of thing?
We'll take a quick break and
Yeah, we'll
let
take a
you
quick break, and then we'll
redo the cards.
Yeah,
and
then we can run that out. So go ahead, Billy. Let's take a moment.
You got pictures.
And we are back in the studios of WFC3. We have been hanging out with Jen Beaven and all of the usual Monkey Business crew. Quick.
We needed to take just a couple minutes to process that.
Wow, that was really
great.
That was amazing. And we're gonna come back to Jen and chat with her in a couple seconds here. But first things first, we have
announcements.
We have announcements, and usually when we start the announcements, we start with events, and we have one big one coming up. The one we've been talking about, the one that brings us all together, the Flower City Comic-Con, coming at you June 9th and 10th in 2 weeks' time when this episode airs, 2 weeks away.
The schedule is done.
So
you'll be able to see the front end schedule on our
GrowTix app.
Our GrowTix app.
Yeah, and we'll have that posted to Facebook as well.
The program's in the process of being finalized.
If you want tickets, you can get them online through our website, or if you'd rather just go and get the hard copy tickets in your hot little hands, you can go to any of the following locations. We've listed it off before. We'll do it again for you. First Print Comics, 13th Verse Comics, Blades for Life at Puff Palace, End Zone Collectibles, Rhinos Comics and Collectibles, Comic Book Heaven, All Heroes Comics, Comics Etc., Yankee Clipper, House of Cards, Hammer Girl Anime, and Wonderland Comics. Any one of those places, you can get paper tickets. So, with that being said, June 9th and 10th, launch party on Friday the 8th. We're looking forward to seeing you, your friends, your family, your grandparents, your kids.
A showing of The Fifth Element.
We're going to do a showing of The Fifth Element.
Lots of fun stuff that weekend.
We're going to have music. We're going to have filk bands, and we're going to have glitch. We're going
Jen's
to have.
Like, ooh.
We're going to have.
Ship is coming, Jen.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're going to have a great escape room. We're going to have a Starship Bridge simulator. We're going to have the cosplay contest. We're actually going to have a cosplay changing area for you cosplay aficionados out there who like to bring multiple outfits or ditch your outfit halfway through and get some mundane clothes on. We're going to give you a place, nice, big, comfy changing area.
Including a repair station.
Including a repair station should something unforgivable happen. Or unforeseeable. That's the one. I wanted to use the word unforeseeable.
Anything unforeseen. Yeah.
Unforeseen. Yeah. Well, unforgivable could be if your friend actually like dumps some ice cream on your lap or something like that. That would be a thing.
You got extra soldering irons?
Yeah. That's well, we might actually.
Or
if you
at
don't,
least
I can
hot
bring
glue
one.
guns.
Hot glue guns and some sewing, some needles and whatnot. So that's definitely going to be a thing. So that's happening from the moment this episode airs for the first time. It's going to be 2 weeks away. So get yourselves ready to go. And any questions?
I'm panicking.
Stop that.
I am. You may not be. You panic 2 minutes after the doors open.
I'm too stupid to panic is basically what happens. All right.
I'm not that mother figure that I have to make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed.
Yes, you are.
I am the Empress.
School
that is my
teacher.
card.
There you go.
Yes, the school teacher.
Step forward. And
I claim that card.
There you go.
All right. And then onward and forward, we talk about every week we have everyday heroes. Not all heroes wear capes. Who is your hero? Do you know a fireman, a police officer, nurse, EMT, military personnel, teacher, or librarian? Who is your personal hero? If so, please let us know all about that person, and we'll give them a shout-out on the air. Please send your nominations to fc3monkeybusiness@gmail.com. Now, at this point in the act is usually when we do our question of the week. Our question of the week is actually not going to be written by Sherry. We're going to have it for Jen. So we're going to... see, we're being clever.
What?
We're being clever. Who wants to have a quick little, 2 or 3 card reading? Sybil? Sybil?
Sure.
Sybil? Okay. Sybil's like, crap, I'm on the spot again. What the hell?
Sybil, that mic is really sensitive. It crackles when you touch
really
it.
sensitive?
Yeah.
Don't move it.
Yeah.
It's really crackly.
Don't even look at it funny. All right, go ahead.
Look at Chris funny instead.
Do you want to come around?
Sure.
All right, she's going
We
to
can both
wander around real quick to...
share the scary mic.
There you go.
Share the scary.
The Wheeze mic.
Ooh, the necklace.
Thank you.
Oh, go ahead, sit down, baby girl.
Is that a
Do
Doctor
you
Who
have a
necklace?
question that you want to say, or do you want it to be content-free?
Get right up on the mic, Jen.
I'd say content free.
Okay. So think about it. Pull a card. Any. Okay. All right. That's a complicated relationship card.
Sybil knows about complicated relationships.
She's friends with you.
Yes. That's where I was going with that, actually.
I think it's about separating potentials from pasts. and not to overthink things.
That runs in the family, doesn't it?
Yeah, I usually see this card as being about expectations, and sometimes expectations get in the way of what organically is good. It's like the adults are looking at all these cups in the sky and going, oh, great, everything is perfect from now on. And the kids are just playing. And it's like if the adults were just playing, then they wouldn't be expecting or anticipating anything. They'd just be seeing where stuff was going.
Okay.
The look on Sybil's face, ladies and gentlemen, is one of sheer, like, holy crap.
Is that panic?
No, that's not panic.
She'd never be.
I know Sybil when she panics.
Yeah. Knight of Wands. Energy, but pent-up energy. You're holding back. That's all I'm going to say.
And now she's giggling.
She does seem reserved today. Psychic 2x4s.
Boomstick.
Okay. There is your magical self.
Which card is
High
that?
Priestess is one of my
High
favorite
Priestess,
cards.
yeah. Okay.
Yes. And that may be a reason for holding back, too, because you know more than you let on. You also know that your big self knows a lot. And if you want all the cheat codes for the game, you got all the cheat codes for the game. You're really trying hard to play with no spoilers. But it's tough. So I think just knowing that you is there is going to make it much easier to not obsess about the things that get in your way of playing full out.
Okay.
Lots to think about.
Oh, more than you know.
Honey,
But she
send
keeps
me
herself to herself.
Send me a text to make sure that you get back to Pittsburgh this tonight, okay?
Yeah, don't let your mind wander while you're on the road.
Chris met part of the reason
Yeah.
for this yesterday.
Yeah. It's funny as I could see the realizations kind of dawning on in your eyes as Jen's talking to you, and I'm like, I think I know where this is going.
Like
Well, that's good because I have no idea.
That's all right.
Yeah,
seriously.
Yes.
Sherry's up. Sherry's
Okay.
next. Sherry's going to do a little shuffle.
Yeah, here, why don't you shuffle?
And Sherry's a professional, so you can tell. As soon as she took the cards.
I am so not a professional.
Oh, come on.
I'm a slightly talented amateur.
Now you got
You're
the
more
grok.
talented than I am at it.
I'm still working on a lot of things, but I do tend to be very instinctual with the way I read.
I'm going to borrow a line from. I'm sorry but this is a geek thing. All right, but I'm going to borrow a line from Avengers when Tony and Bruce are in the lab on the helicarrier in the first Avengers movie, and they're chatting back and forth. And Tony looks at Bruce and goes, "You're tiptoeing, big man. You got to strut." All right.
Yeah.
So.
Did you just call my wife a man?
Just borrowing a line, man. Just borrowing a line.
I think you just called her a strut.
She holds things up.
I like that card.
Which card is that?
The world.
The world.
The world? The whole world in one
Yes.
card?
It's
Look, I
like
can see
you
Iraq from here.
Being at the center of things, at the peak of your game, and yet not using it badly, using it well. Dancing in the center of creation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a Sherry thing.
But let's not dance.
Come on, you can dance. Everybody can dance. You can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind.
But if you can't dance,
They're no friends of mine.
No friends of mine.
You can dance.
Is that Wheel of Fortune thing
It's the
again?
Wheel of Fortune and upside down. So
Pat
anything that
Sajak
you-
just lost his toupee.
And now she's got to give $250 to buy a vowel.
Yeah.
You're
Well, there's an
breaking
A
it
and an O on the card. Yeah, I like that because that's. On the one hand, it's talking about the vicissitudes of fortune, stuff the world throws at you.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're at a point where you can throw back, you can catch. So anything that you might see as a setback or a fuck up or whatever is.
Yay, speaker button.
It's only one.
Oh, fuck that.
is an opportunity because you now have the inner energy to deal with a lot of stuff that would have thrown you for a loop in the past. So sometimes it's like you see something coming down the road and you go, oh no, that overwhelmed me when I was 16. Well, you're not 16. So I don't.
Inner power is mine.
That's it.
But also, I think being able to consciously face old things that you've either kept in the closet or you've consciously not faced. Because this is like, okay, now you can do it, and now you can close the circle with the past you. So there's something back there that you feel hurt by that you can now transform that into feeling like, okay, that's part of the circle. That's part of stuff. That's...
Oh, ooh. Just putting some juju into this one. Here comes the third card. And the pitch. Boom.
Ooh. Page of Wands. New beginnings. New learning. Feeling like you're starting over, but in a good way. Sometimes that's something new that just grabs you, but it's also something that you're ready to go for.
Awesome. Thank you.
Anybody else? Billy?
I'm coming.
Tiny's coming around.
All right.
I gotta go grab somebody.
Uh-oh. Tiny just hugged Sherry for luck.
No, something was gotta go grab her based on. What
So, okay, so I was going to grab her. So, Tanya.
Okay.
See, there you go. Tanya now just grabbed Sherry.
All about Tanya.
All right.
Sorry, Chris.
It's all right. Tanya, stop molesting Sherry. Oh, maybe you should molest her more. All right, somebody get a camera. Never mind.
Which camera?
So, Sherry's shuffling up. Or, excuse me, Tanya's shuffling up.
Yeah.
It's Sherry on the brain. Sorry, it happens.
Pick a card.
I'm gonna pick a card.
Here we go. Boom. Uh-oh.
Oh, Hierophant. That's
That's a big fella, isn't it? That's a major arcana.
yeah, that's a major arcana.
Okay.
And this is one that can be read a lot of different ways, right? Because it's about structure and knowing things and liking to control things.
Huh.
These cards, no Tanya.
But it's also and I'm taking this from that Sternamation deck. It's also a nerd card.
Okay.
And being able to claim your nerdiness and being able to claim your intelligence in front of other people.
See, this is an organization where when somebody calls you a nerd, it's a high compliment.
It is a high
Yes,
compliment.
it is.
Yes.
And that's exactly how I mean it.
Structure and organization whatsoever.
Oh, yeah. No, you're not OCD at all.
Classroom's color coded.
Yeah. You got like the big drawer things for your dice.
That must be why I handed you the deck.
You're going to just draw your own cards. Boom. Oh, that's another good one. What's that one?
Oh, the moon. This is the subconscious card.
Chris and I have a moon for you.
Since it's
No.
That's a big
it must be
speaker
this
button.
microphone.
That's a blurry button.
All right. Sorry.
Okay, back to the moon, but not that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not on Twitch. We're okay.
Yeah.
It's not the Death Star either.
Okay.
Sorry, Jen.
Railing me.
There's my inner nerdiness coming out. Sorry.
Okay, it's symbolizing something unconscious. Sometimes it's a secret. Sometimes it is something that you keep a secret because you're not sure how other people will respond to it. But it's okay. And sometimes it is your inner controller sitting on your inner desire.
Okay.
So, again, I think that's good. This isn't something bad and scary. This is something completely healthy and normal for you. It's just a way you are in the world sometimes with yourself that you're not in the world with other people. And don't worry about it.
Okay.
Let it go. Let it go. Oh.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's the journey card,
The
isn't
journey
it?
card, it is, and it's upside down.
Don't stop believing.
Hold on to the feet. Okay. I am a child.
Which one is that again? Is that the Eight of Wands?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It is. And I like that. And it's, again, reminding you that the journey is, in itself, has value. And it's not just the destination, and that sometimes the organization and the wanting to allow yourself to go with the flow are going to get in the way of each other. But that that shouldn't, because you have a handle on this now. And maybe in the past you didn't, but you do now. So
Good to know.
Very cool.
It is cool.
She's got that look, that glazed look in her eye. All right. Hang on.
Oh. Okay,
All right.
Chris's turn.
Here.
All right,
shovel.
thank you. Thank you. By the way, thank you for hanging out with us today.
Oh, bad juju. You dropped the
You
card.
left the Ace of
dropped the Ace of
Swords.
Swords.
Ah, okay.
He ran away from me. What does that mean? That the Ace of Swords just got
Wants
up
to
and
get
took
your
off?
attention.
Well, he does he?
And now it's the 7 of breadcrumbs.
Yes, thank you, Billy.
Yes.
That was awesome.
The Ace of Swords is a project card.
Oh, I'm
so
definitely a project.
your project is getting away from you.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's not a first. There we go.
Okay.
All right.
Card.
Okay. You right here. 5 of Wands?
Yes, the Five of Wands. When I was in the SCA, before they threw me out for being too weird, we called this the weapons practice card, but
Okay.
I think Jim Craig, I don't know if you know him, he's was one of my tarot readers.
Yeah, I've heard the name.
Works at RIT. Yeah. I think he calls this stupid tent.
Stupid tent?
It's a bunch of guys holding up the...
Okay. Yeah, I see how that is.
Yes.
Okay.
But I like it. It's like there's a big conflict and it drives you crazy, and then suddenly you realize it's just a game.
Gotcha. Okay.
So,
And everybody at the panel right now is going, yeah, Chris, there we go. We already knew that one.
don't take it too seriously.
Yeah. Don't take life too seriously. You're not getting out alive.
And know how permanent.
That's it. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. This one right.
But that's actually joyfulness in the face of conflict, too. So,
the lovers.
yeah, and in a grander sense than, I mean, it is, but it's talking about a driving passion in life, or at least allowing yourself to have one.
Okay. Allowing myself to have a driving passion?
Yeah.
That sounds dangerous.
Sometimes we don't
Yeah,
know what to
okay.
say.
Yeah.
Okay, and not talking about breaking into the zoo. I'm talking
Okay.
about, more along the lines of the sun card, but
Gotcha.
kind of having that kind of energy, but also being able to channel it into something that makes something in the world. So
Okay. I see what you're saying.
yeah, I like that. And then also, I mean, since it's right side up, that's like smooth, as opposed to sometimes if it's upside down, it could mean that you're going all over the place, so you're trying to avoid, but you're not.
Okay.
You're allowing yourself to let yourself be driven, or let yourself go where you want to go.
Okay.
So that's
All right.
good.
Last one. Okay. This one right here.
Okay.
Queen of Wands
Queen of
upside down.
Wands. Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, Queen of Wands is usually mother energy.
Okay.
So I'm seeing that as something that you've got in you, but there's also someone in your life that you're learning from. And that comes back to control, too. To being able to control with a light touch, or do things or make things happen without anyone knowing that it's you that's making it happen.
Subtlety is not one of my strong suits.
No.
No, it's not a good trait of mine.
That is why you have someone in your life who's teaching you how to do that.
Okay.
So
Now I have to figure out who that is so I can actually pay attention to that person better.
you know,
I do know?
you do.
I do know.
You do
Okay.
know.
I just haven't realized it in my own head yet. Maybe. I don't know.
You've realized it subconsciously.
Subconsciously?
No, there's stuff you know that you don't know you know.
That is a common occurrence, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's intuition.
And that relates back to the, where am I? Here I am. That relates back to the big reading that you did earlier.
With intuition upside down.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe that's a theme.
A theme?
A theme for
is trust my gut a little bit better? Yeah.
Yes.
Use the force, monkeys.
Kind of, or just realize that it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because a lot of times we say, oh, yeah, it's just an intuition.
Okay.
I just have a hunch. It's just a dream. Don't pay attention to that. It's just a thing that's
It's just a thing.
Yeah.
No, it's actually, it's
Start
something.
paying attention to
Start paying
everything.
attention to the ins and the outs.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Anybody else? Monk, Billy?
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right.
I think we're good.
Jen
Wow,
Beaven in the studio with us today. Thank you, Jen.
Oh, thank you.
It's been a pleasure
me.
having you here with us today. Did you have any
blessed.
share? I saw your hand go up for a second
No,
there.
I
Oh,
was just-
okay. Just checking.
Playing with her hair.
Just making sure. So I'm going to put the headphones so I can hear the musical cue when it comes.
Your
And there
favorite.
it is, my favorite song. This has been Monkey Business for another week.
Oh, my cards had a good time, too.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Purveyors and producers of the Flower City Comic Con coming at you June 9th and 10th, 2018 at the Floriano Rochester Riverside Convention Center. Love us on Facebook, www.fc3facebook.com. Or excuse me, fc3roc.com. Whatever. You know where we are by now. If you haven't followed us by now, it's your own fault. Doom doom.
Wow, you're still like
That threw me off.
that threw you
That was
off
good
a little
stuff.
bit.
That was
Yeah.
very cool.